We're joined now by head volleyball coach Ryan Wills as the Golden Hurricane will open up the season on Friday on the road, coach, in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a good tournament to start the season, is it?
Yeah, we start off right away with University of Nebraska, and they're always a national championship contender, and we get to go into an arena that they play in an arena that's as big as the Reynolds Center. It holds about 8,000. It's almost the exact same size, and they sell it out. I think they have over 200 in a row that they sell it out for volleyball. So it's the best venue in America, maybe the world, for volleyball, and so it's just a honor to play in it, and to see the growth of volleyball, to see where it can get to, and it's obviously an example of what volleyball can get to, and get to be a part of it, and we get to go compete, and then we turn around right after them. We got K-State, probably 15 to 20 minutes right after we play that game. We get right back on the floor against K-State, who's picked to finish, I think, third in the Big 12. And then the next day we play Colgate, who's a great team that's going to win probably 20 to 28 matches this year. So it's a great tournament to start off the year.
Yeah, a heck of a way to start, and a great atmosphere, no doubt. Nebraska number 5 coming into this year, and then even the Kansas State team is receiving votes. So this will be a stern test to kind of get things underway, huh?
For sure, it's a heck of a challenge, and it's but that's what you want. As you're a competitor, you want to put yourself in those situations, and we feel like we have a team that we scheduled to go to the NCAA tournament. We have the schedule there. Now we got to go get 20 to 24 wins, and we have the schedule, we believe, to be in the NCAA tournament, or at least in the bubble conversation. And so we started it right from week 1. We'll get after it.
Coach, you returned 7 starters, 7 letter winners from last year. What kind of a team do you think you'll have?
I think it'll be a very balanced team in a lot of ways. We have a lot more experience than we had last year. Last year was such an interesting year with COVID, but just a lot more experience. A couple years ago, we lost a lot of pieces that had been in place for a long period of time, and we had to work through some things last year. But this year has the opportunity to be one of the more fun years in a program, because it's a bounce back year, and we have the experience, we have balance in all sorts of positions. We won't have to rely on just 1 or 2 people to get the victories when we need it, and our incoming kids have come in, and there's a lot of talent there, and they have an accelerated maturity is the only way I know how to put it. There's something about this incoming group that you feel comfortable with them in your gym, and a lot of times newcomers, you're just really hesitant to see what's going to happen, but I'm really happy with this group, so I'm excited to see how all these pieces kind of fall together.
Well, my office is right around the corner from your practice facility, and boy, we hear lots of noise over there. So it sounds like, is the chemistry there for this team as you got the young and the new?
Yeah,
or the young and the old?
Yeah, I mean, to start off a season, it's always kind of like that to some extent, and then it's about how you deal with adversity as you go through the season. But there's definitely a different feel to this team right now. We have a lot of pride in this program. We've had a lot of success over the years, and last year it wasn't us. It's not Tulsa volleyball, and so I think everyone feels a little bit of that just sense of urgency of, hey, we got to get back to what we do, and I think because of that, you just feel a little extra intensity, and so we're excited to see how this thing plays out the first couple of weeks.
Maggie Hembry was second team all-conference last year. Callie Cook is your all-time blocks leader for the program. Are those two the kind of the veterans that you'll hang your hat on a little bit, or have them lead a little bit? Or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're getting that extra COVID year, and they came back, and so it's nice to have that just experience and maturity within the program in the middle position, and we've increased our ability to serve, receive around them. One of the things about being a middle is if the first ball contact is pretty sloppy, then they can really only block. And this year, our serve receive, they've worked on it. We brought people in that can help, and our serve receive is in a much better place. And if we're passing the ball well, then we are a much better team. It's a snowball effect for this team, given the fact that you have 2 COVID seniors, super seniors, whatever you want to call them, in that position. And so we're excited to see, as we continue to develop and serve receive, what happens to our offense. And then it's kind of like football potentially, where if you can run the ball, then it opens up the offense. I'm sure Philip talks about this a lot. If you can establish that run game, then you got to bring more people in the box, and then you can ship the ball to the outside, and then you can run. Same thing in volleyball. If we can serve receive first, we can get the ball down the middle, then the blockers have to suck in, and then our pins become more effective. So it's very similar to that mentality if you understand football, and that's what we're excited about, seeing how that develops throughout the year.
Yeah, and you talk about receiving service, and then that pass, which is so very important.
Yeah.
And honestly, you kind of struggled with the libero position last year, which is one of the keys to that. Has that improved?
Without a doubt. You know, we pieced some stuff together last year, and we had some improvements, especially on the defensive side, but the serve receive numbers just weren't what we expect. And so they've worked hard. We've brought in another libero, Marta, from Italy, and she's helping out a lot. So we'll see how this shakes out over the first couple of weeks. But it's that first touch is definitely better than it was last year.
Rosa Raudio, of course, is your setter, and she's the one that receives that pass from the defense, if you will. And if you can set that quarterback up, so to speak, with a good pass, then she's much more effective, right?
Yeah, it always starts with that first touch, and then the more that first touch is good, then the chances the second touch is better, and then you have a third touch, and it's a game of instant contact. So you can't grab the ball. And so each contact gives you a better chance of the next contact being better, but they can't grab the ball, control it. It's out of their hands quick. So then there's a better chance that the third contact's better. You know, so we don't have the ability like other sports, like maybe basketball, where you can get the ball, pull it back out, dribble it, let's get under control. Ours is just bang, bang, bang. And so the better the first touch is, your just chances increase over time in those three touches. And then hopefully you can side out. That's what we call it when you receive the first ball. And if those numbers get high, then you're going to be a winning team.
So we've talked about a couple of players, but who are you really going to lean on other than those three that we've mentioned, and maybe some of the newcomers? Who's surprised you, who's come through?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the middles that we're talking about. Right now, in the gym, our setters are both doing a great job. So it'll be really interesting to see over the course of the year how that plays out. And then we're going to have a lot of balance on the pins, you know, and so it'll be. I don't think it's going to be a year where we can sit and rely on every pin player all the time and figure out who, just say, okay, you got to do it today or we don't win. I don't think it'll be that. It'll be a little bit more of a feel of which pin player is on today, which pin player is playing well today, and then once the middles can establish what they're doing, and then we can kind of try to figure out who the hot hand is throughout the year, and that's kind of our game plan right now.
Coach, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Have a great year.
Thank you.
Head coach Ryan Wills has the Golden Hurricane opening up this Friday on the road, but take a look at the schedule on TulsaHurricane.com when the Hurricane comes back home. We can't wait to see the volleyball team right here at the Reynolds Center.